Hi students, today we're going to learn about how to find an article for our first paper, the rhetorical analysis, and we'll be using the library's databases to search for that, in addition to a couple of other outside websites. I would like you to listen to the whole video, even if I'm looking for articles in a subject that's not your major, because what I say about one discipline applies to the other. So remember to look for the punchlines to the jokes that I give in the video, because then you can submit your punchlines to the assignment in Canvas and you'll get credit for watching the tutorial today. Okay, so we're going to start out going to the library's homepage. I'd like you to look on the right-hand side under the heading of Quick Links and click Articles and Databases. This opens to a page that lists all of the databases available to you at SJSU. They subscribe to 455 databases. So a database in this context is a digital collection of journals, magazines, or periodicals which you can search from your home or from campus. And they're usually discipline specific, like business or nursing, but some are also multidisciplinary, meaning that anybody from any background can search through them. And just to give you an idea of how many journals each database searches through, you can just scroll down and look here. This one is a collection of 190. This one is a collection of 260. Then you have some databases that are a collection of 2,300. So when you do a search in any given database, you're really searching through either hundreds or thousands of journals and trying to refine your search according to a topic that's interesting to you. If you know the specific name of the database you want to look through, you can just go ahead and click on the letter that its name begins with, and it'll direct you straight to the section. But in our case, we're going to go ahead and look under all subjects, and it's an alphabetized list of majors at our school or colleges at our school, and you can look for yours. But I'm going to go ahead and give you an example using computer science. So I'm going to click on computer science. This brings us to a page that was compiled by a guide at the library. In this case, she's a computer science expert, Ms. Migwalu. And she has gone ahead and given you a box that highlights the best bets for students in computer science. So there are 11 databases in all. If you go below the box, there are others that she recommends too. So I'm going to go ahead and just begin with Science Direct. So now I've been given access to the website, and if I know a specific author and journal, I can type it in, but we can also just begin a general search under a subject that you find interesting. So I'm going to choose robotics. I'm going to click the magnifying glass to begin my search. And I'm brought to articles related to robotics. However, if I look at the top of the page, I see that there are over 100,000 articles related to robotics. That's probably too many to sift through, but you can just begin by reading the titles of each of the articles that they've collected and see if there's one that's interesting to you. I'm going to go ahead and narrow it though, and just use their suggested topics here. I'm going to click on View More to see, and I want to choose Artificial Intelligence. And then I can scroll down to the bottom of the page and apply that filter. And now I see that there are only 1,300 articles, so that's a much narrower search. I'm going to go ahead and just click the first one I see. I can go ahead and read the abstract, which is the summary of the article, to see if it's something I'm interested in. And they give me an image of the PDF. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click on the PDF to see what it looks like. And you can see that the paper is 9 pages long. Because this is an academic journal, Probably about 2 to 3 pages of this is bibliography, so it's not as long as it appears. And there's the abstract again. And there we have the introduction, so it's broken up into sections: literature review and hypothesis. There is a graphic that I could use as part of my analysis, and I'm scrolling through it. This article to me is pretty dense, very few paragraphs. Not a very user-friendly article. However, if you find it interesting, definitely we can pick it apart for the rhetoric that it uses. Okay, yeah, very long paragraphs. Paragraphs are nice when they chunk information easily for us. This writer doesn't like to do that. Okay, going back to this page. Remember, if you do like the article that you click on, to download it to your computer. I'm going to go back out. Instead of the A to Z list, we could also use this research guide. This is a little bit different because each of these research guides gives you more information that's compiled by the librarian under your subject. And under the humanities, for instance, there are lots of different majors. So you can come back here. We'll return to this in a minute. Art as well. And I'm going to stick with the computer science for right now. I click on that. And I'm going to choose the computer science subject. And here, once again, is our subject guide, who has created this page for you that has all kinds of things to help you do research and writing. So you can explore this page another time more extensively. But there's also societies and associations. I suggest you come and look at some of these websites because perhaps there is an article on one of these websites that you could also use for your analysis. This is one we visited in class. Right away I can see that from their headings they have various things that I could explore, but I'm going to look at publications. The first is ASEE Publications. This was the magazine we looked at yesterday. We can look at Prism magazine, and you can look at the current issue, for instance, and flip through this magazine to see if there's an article of interest to you. This is a pretty long article. You could use this for your paper. It's probably a little more reader-friendly, not so highly technical. It's for people who are interested in the field, but not necessarily professors or researchers in the field. Okay, so consider looking at certain associations' publications. The other thing you might look at, see if there's blogs and newsletters. When I clicked on this, I discovered there are lots of newsletters. Many of these are tailored to students and students coming into the field, but maybe there's a publication within one of these newsletters that you could use to analyze. Okay, these are available options too. So these research guides are really useful. I want to go back to the research guide and look for something under business. Lots of different majors within business, but I'll go ahead and choose accounting and finance. And we have a new librarian here who's compiled this page for us. She also has found some websites that you might explore, some organizations. Again, consider this for a web source that you might use for your rhetorical analysis. But I'm going to go ahead and look at which articles and databases she's recommended. I'm going to go ahead and look down here. I'm going to choose Business Source Complete. I'm going to go ahead and do a search here. And I'm going to start with Management Information System. And I'm going to narrow it already with social media. Notice these features down here, search options. If you want to specify the year, you could narrow it to articles published after 2015, for instance. Or if you want to only have full text versions, you can. I'm not going to click that yet because I want to show you how you can still get full text even if they're not available here. So I'm going to click this. And I got 85 articles with these 2 keyword searches. And notice that some are full text, some are get text. So if I want to just look for full text, I could click this button and they'll narrow the search. But remember, the most important thing is that you're looking for a title that is most interesting to you. So don't rule out the possibility that you might still be able to get the full text. I'm going to scroll down and see if I can find a title that looks interesting to me. Here's one, A Model of Emotion and Computer Abuse. It was published in 2016, pretty recent article. Quite a long article though, about 17 pages. And I see that they give me the abstract. If I find it interesting, I could go ahead and pursue finding the article in another database. So I'm going to click on Get Text. And lo and behold, SJSU found it in that other database that we searched earlier, Science Direct. If I click on this, it redirects me to Science Direct. And now I can go ahead and download the PDF. Going back out, if I find another one that actually does have a full text version, this is only a 1-page article, really too short for your purposes, but we can click on it. And if I like it, because there's the PDF, I can have it emailed to myself, or I can save it, or I can add it to a folder and look at it more closely at another time. Remember, this is just the first 10, so if you want to see the next, you can just scroll down to the bottom of the page and click these other pages to find additional articles on management information system and social media. Okay, I'm going to go back to SJSU research guides. Oh, and I have to give my first joke. Okay, the first joke is, remember, save the punchline. What is worse than finding a worm in an apple you are eating? Any guesses? Half a worm. Yes, that's the first punchline you should submit. Half a worm is worse than finding a whole worm in an apple you're eating. Okay, coming back to the research guides, I'm going to look at humanities because we do have some humanities students in our class. And I know that we have a couple of language students, so I'm going to click World Languages and Literature. Here we have a new subject guide, Ms. Matouche, and she has recommended some journal articles, research tools for students in language. And so any of these is available to you to search. Additionally, if we go back to the research guides and humanities, we could also do music. We have a music student, and here too are articles and books and the recommended online databases. You might notice that there's some overlap. So for instance, JSTOR is a multidisciplinary database for a broad range of subjects. Everybody could use JSTOR, whether you're in the sciences, technical fields, or the humanities. So JSTOR is one for all of you. I'm going to go back out and show you that there is another one that I recommend for everybody, and that is Academic Search Complete. Doesn't matter what field you're in, you can use this to search. It's a nice general database for everyone. So remember to use Academic Search Complete. There it is. And then you can go to J for JSTOR. There is your other one that's for everybody. I'm going to give the second joke now, just to amuse you for the day. Here we go. Why did Cinderella get kicked out of the soccer game? The answer is because she ran away from the ball. Okay, So go ahead and give me that punchline in our assignment. So let me know that you watched today's tutorial, and I thank you for your patience. Remember that the most important thing is that you find an article that is of interest to you, find a few, and then you can bring them into me and we can discuss which one would be the best. But remember too that our next 2 lectures will be showing you the rhetorical features of documents, and that'll also guide you in choosing the best article to analyze for our assignment. Okay, thanks a lot.